Clive Bone simply wanted to remove prayers before meetings at Bideford Town Council, but today his request has ended up at the High Court, making headline news across the country.
It's bad for democracy, I think. It alienates some people. Alienates people to the extent that if you look at the proportion of people who are churchgoers, in Bideford Council it's a majority, whereas the number of churchgoers in the general population is less than 10%.
The forefathers of Bideford might well be shaking their heads as to how this dispute has escalated to the highest court in the land. Mr Justice Ouseley has today heard argument from the National Secular Society that what happens in this room is unlawful. Due to the legal proceedings, no one from Bideford Town Council is able to talk on this matter today. But here in the council chamber, before each meeting is held, the prayers will come from a number of different denominations, including the Quakers, who instead of praying, invite the councillors to have 2 minutes of silent reflection. On Bideford streets, though, almost total support for the status quo.
I think it's up to the individual. If they want to do a prayer before the meeting or after, I think it's up to them. And if you don't want to, decline.
If they wish to say prayers, I don't see any problem with it.
Seem to be losing all religion now, and I think we should go back to a bit.
While this argument began in Bideford, it's now become a test case and is being funded by secular and church organisations.
Council chambers should be places of council business, not places for acts of worship, which often can be a source of division and conflict.
Councillors at Bideford are not required to pray, but if the secular society succeeds, they will be required not to pray. And that's a restriction on their freedom of conscience and their freedom of religion. And I think a lot of people would think that that was a very bad thing, and they'll be hoping, and perhaps praying, that the legal action does not succeed.
What started as a local complaint will now determine the place of religion in council chambers across the land. Seth Conway in Bideford for the West Country Tonight.